Bros, Cardano is ripping. It looks kind of crazy. We're going to take a look at the charts here. I'm a bit befuddled at how much Cardano is ripping, but it's not just Cardano. Bitcoin as well is moving up and to the right quite aggressively. We're going to be talking about why these coins are pumping so hardcore. We're going to be talking about all of that with Crux on the other side of the intro. Let's get Yeah. Crux, how we doing this morning?
Hey, what's going on, Tshroom? Hey, Cardano, Bitcoin's pumping. Great day, great morning. I'm super excited to bring the alpha to the bros. How are
That's
you doing,
right.
Tshroom?
Man, I'm better than I deserve. I really am.
Okay.
Portfolios are looking nice. We're seeing some movement
hmm
up and to the right, week after week, day after day. Patience is paying off. Hopefully, you all hodled. Well, this is one of those days where we got to jump right into a story because there are some very, very big rumors, and we need to get right into them. Cardano surging 13% in 24 hours. You can see it here on the crypto bubbles, up 13, more than 13% now. But here is why. This is from Coin Bureau. Rumors of Ripple Cardano partnership after chats between Ripple CTO and Charles Hoskinson. Hoskinson hinted at using Cardano's midnight privacy tech to boost XRP's DeFi capabilities. But Crux, it doesn't stop there because we've been hearing from an undisclosed contact that there have also been rumors that both of these projects will essentially be teaming up to go work with DOGE, the Department of Government
Mm.
Efficiency. Hopefully, that headline will manifest itself. But so far, those are all just rumors. But it kind of doesn't matter at this point. If you were long Cardano, you're reaping the benefits of those rumors hopefully coming true, and the market really hoping for that. So, what are your thoughts here on the probability of these rumors coming true and Department of Government Efficiency getting a huge boost by some very powerful blockchains?
Well, Tshroom, I think that's what they are, just rumors. You have two big names in XRP and Cardano, and then also, with the Department of Government Efficiency, there's so much that we don't know about this yet. We know very little in regards to Elon Musk and Vivek and how they're going to be playing a role in establishing this organization under Donald Trump. But other than that, speculation, and that's all it is.
Yeah.
Cardano is definitely pumping based off of the speculation. So, and XRP within the past week or so has been looking very bullish.
Absolutely. Well, if you're just joining us, welcome to the Investing Bros. Smash the like is being said there by Smay. Yeah, I'm excited here. There's a lot of folks who are still holding on to their XRP, and I think even more folks who've held on to their Cardano, even though both coins have not had the best beginning to the bull market. We have seen quite a bit of a change as Bitcoin has shifted into what seems like a new gear. And we're going to take a look here at the Bitcoin charts. Before we do, we're going to take a look at the ADA charts. But before we do that, we got to look at the crypto bubbles here because it's not just Cardano. It's also XLM is getting a nice little bid here. Crow continues its move to the upside. Unicid, Leo, and Tezos also up more than 5%, each of those names. Got some losers, though. Got some red on the screen as well. Ohm Mantra is down 12.2%. That's a correction, right? I wouldn't say that there's anything terrible going on there. Beam down 7.6%. HBAR down 7.6%. And PopCat down 9.8%. Okay, so you're seeing some names cool off while ADA is pumping. Okay, but it's not just ADA, it's also Bitcoin as well. So let's go ahead and jump over to the Cardano charts here. I've got a trend base fib extension that I will bring back in just a second. But here is something you probably were not waking up and expecting to see. A wick all the way up to 84 cents, getting very close to 85 cents there for Cardano. This is actually the exact second take profit here on the daily chart from LuxAlgo. So pretty cool, pretty accurate so far. Of course, many will think that this will continue to pump maybe after a retrace down to, say, 75. So that's a little bit of TA there on Cardano. Our smart trail there on the daily is all the way back at 52 cents. But if you notice, if you've ever used Luxalgo, you're noticing something that is pretty outrageous, which is just how far and how long Cardano has spent above this red line. This red line, of course, is the reversal cloud. Cardano is saying, what reversal cloud? We don't see a reversal cloud. We're just going to keep pumping to the upside. It is kind of crazy, but this is what happens when the rumblings, the precursor to altcoin season comes around. Let's go ahead and jump over to the Bitcoin charts and see what is going on with the king of crypto. So as you can see here, Bitcoin, a little bit more respectful to the reversal clouds here. Although it's playing inside of it, it's not getting up above it in quite the way that Cardano is. So very, very exciting there. Let's do a measured move here. I'm going to drop down to the 4-hour and show you all. Crux and I were doing some measured moves here before to see how high we could go and how quickly. I'll turn off the reversal cloud. But before I do here, you can see that this price would come in at 95.6 for the first reversal, and then the second reversal would be 99.300, call it. So those are some levels to be watching. Luxalgo put the take profit here at 94.5, and the second take profit at 97.4. So a couple levels to keep in mind there, perhaps as you're trading today. But let's do this measured move here. And if Tim's watching, he's gonna be yelling at the screen that I'm doing it wrong, but I'm not. I think I actually am doing it right here. Yeah. So to the breakout of where we've broken out here, you can see that it will put us at 100,600 Bitcoin. That is pretty phenomenal. Exactly what the psychological level that a lot of folks are anticipating here in the crypto space. But even regardless, even without that measured move, this is very, very exciting for Bitcoin, as anybody who's ever done any trading, anybody who's ever put resistance and support lines on a screen can tell that this is an obvious ascending triangle here, and now we're getting that nice breakout. And what I also point out on the 4-hour is there is plenty of room to run here for the oscillators. Lots of room to run. We are not overbought until 80, so we still have even quite a bit of space to get there, again, on the 4-hour. Jumping back out, maybe looking at the MACD really quickly, you can see that we have had a successful bull cross here back yesterday and later in the evening. I'm sorry, that would have been in the morning, 7 a.m., so around this time. We're up at 7 a.m. yesterday. We had that bull cross. There was an attempt at a failure of that bull cross and an immediate bear swing. However, that did not play out, and now these MACD lines are spreading out, and we are getting big buys to the upside, as you guys can see. We got our first little sprout of green histograms yesterday. We brought that to you all's attention on the 4-hour, and now we are seeing consistently higher momentum there in those green histograms. So very, very exciting for the king of crypto, Bitcoin. Getting up as high, this wick back here got up as high as 84,882. So that is extremely, extremely bullish. Actually, I'm seeing the highs here. Prints on my screen is 94,888. So that is a little bit higher than what I could do manually there with my finger, but Crux, things are looking very bullish. Should we take profits? Should we stay in the market? What are your thoughts overall here? Is all this a head fake and the bears are going to take over any moment? What are you thinking?
It doesn't matter what Crux's thoughts are because the bros have spoken. The bros think around Thanksgiving, according to the poll. So give it another couple weeks. I'm thinking 100K around Thanksgiving is looking about right. Geo just said we got some pros that are shorting, so that's very interesting. 100K is a very psychological number, but once we get up there, we'll see if we're going to break through or not. But yeah, I think around Thanksgiving, 100K.
All right, very cool. Well, Crux, the bullishness does not stop on the charts because we have some insane stories, more than just the rumors around Cardano and XRP. Although those are extremely bullish, we have one of the most bullish headlines I've seen of 2024, and we've seen some pretty bullish headlines. But this next one is kind of crazy. Michael Saylor, the CEO of MicroStrategies, maybe you've heard of him, is reportedly set to meet with the board of Microsoft to discuss buying Bitcoin. Saylor believes Microsoft should park its cash in Bitcoin, and Microsoft currently, as of its last quarterly statement, holds $78 billion worth of cash. That's a lot of cash. If all of that rotated at once, I think that would put Bitcoin, could put it up above 200,000 maybe. I'm not really sure, but that's a lot of cash. And it's probably not 200,000, probably be quite a bit lower than that, but just off the dome math. And this is also catching the attention of James Seyffert over at Bloomberg. He said this was definitely the most eye-popping thing said during the Spaces, in my opinion. So all this information is kind of coming from Spaces there was some information dropped. Saylor scheduled to present to Microsoft board about putting Bitcoin on their balance sheet. So very exciting times. Of course, this comes within the context of Microsoft putting out in their previous quarterly vote a vote about whether or not there should be research done, a report done onto whether or not they should put Bitcoin into their balance sheet. So the vote was not to put Bitcoin on their balance sheet, but it was to do research. And the board said, we don't even need to do this because we've already looked into Bitcoin on our balance sheet. But, I put out a short. Hopefully people who hold Microsoft went and voted for it, for the research, to show the shareholder interest in the coin. But overall, this is very, very bullish. Crux, what do you think the chances are that we see Microsoft buy Bitcoin in 2025?
Well, first, I've seen that, MicroStrategy was the third most traded stock yesterday, more than Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon. So people are definitely buying up MicroStrategy on this news. That being said, I think Microsoft is a very different company than what MicroStrategy is. Microsoft's been around. I'm not actually sure which one's been around longer. I know MicroStrategy's been around since the 90s, early 90s. But the strategies are completely different. Microsoft's a little bit more about control. We know like who's running Microsoft, but at the end of the day, it's not so much who an individual or their vision. It's about the shareholders and the people that are investing in the stock of Microsoft. So I would love to see Microsoft pick up some Bitcoin. I don't think it's going to happen just based off of the whole vision of why they were created and the where they've moved the past 2 decades. It would be a huge shift. And then seeing how integrated Microsoft is into anti-Bitcoin, other visionaries that exist. So
yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I think they will. I think Microsoft will make an allocation into Bitcoin in 2025. I don't think it's going to be huge. I don't think it's going to take anybody's breath away, but I do think that they will. I think we're seeing now day after day publicly traded companies pick up Bitcoin to the tune of millions of dollars. By the way, it's not just $50 or $80. It's a lot of money that they're picking up and rotating into Bitcoin to hold on their treasury, right? To do what many countries around the world have done and many corporations have done in the United States and in Japan and in other places. Bros, the bullishness does not stop there. We still have more stories here because Donald Trump plans to fire Gary Gensler and appoint pro-crypto Theresa Gulian as the SEC chair. Giga bullish for crypto. There she is, Theresa, and there's Gary Gensler, of course. This would be very bullish, but who is Theresa Goody? This is her Twitter account. She's a mom, an army wife, a parent, a partner and lawyer at Baker Hostetler, and host of Bulls, Bears, and Blockchain, which I presume is a podcast, and she formerly worked at the SEC. So, she tagged SEC, but it went to Southeastern Conference. Look at that. That's not, I don't think that's what she meant to do.
Major fail. Yeah.
That's funny, but just discovering that now. We didn't plan on showing that. Sorry, Teresa. But overall, this could be very, very bullish. There's a couple of other folks who may be taking that position. This is, of course, just speculation at this point. But, it just goes to show that the momentum is definitely moving away from Gary Gensler staying in that position because there's so many good options out there. Could be a former executive from Robinhood. It could be somebody from XRP. It could potentially be a whole host of people. It could also be a wild card. I wouldn't put it past Trump to put somebody like Brian Armstrong or one of the Winklevoss twins potentially in there as kind of a last-minute wild card. But we'll see. Things have been working out for Bhutan. Their Bitcoin investments have now reached $1 billion. Bhutan has now generated $1 billion using previously stranded hydropower resources. That's 34% of its total GDP. So very, very big moves there for Bhutan, which is a country kind of by Nepal, north of India, if you don't know. And then last story here. Switzerland's 21 Shares announced the introduction of Ethereum staking functionality on its Ethereum Core ETP and renamed the product Ethereum Core Staking ETP. The ETP has been listed on the Swiss exchange, providing European investors with staking options. The current average staking yield of Ethereum is 3.17. So this is not coming to you in the United States. You cannot buy a yield-producing ETF in the United States yet. But if you live in Switzerland, this looks like this is coming to you. If you live in a few different European countries that give you access to the Swiss exchange, you also will have access to this. So big move from 21 Shares, which, by the way, lists crypto ETFs in the U.S. It's the same company, different countries. So that could be coming to the States. And obviously, the second layer of rumor there would be that there could potentially be bigger names like Vanguard that take positions in a product like that because it throws off a yield, which is the reason that they gave for not investing in the Bitcoin or Ethereum ETFs so far, because they don't throw off a yield. So Crux, those are the stories. We did a little bit of TA. We'll be doing much more TA today at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Big Tim Warren, who loves to bring in the powerhouse TA. But I just gave you guys a little bit of catch-up TA. But Crux, what do you have for us? I know that you're always scrolling around and seeing what's new. What you got?
Yeah, so first I want to hit that regulation statement. Within the United States, we currently don't have access to a lot of good, I guess, things that other exchanges and other, for example, like this Swiss Ethereum proposal of allowing you to gain something similar to what I think of as dividends. So you're holding a stock, it's going up similar to what Ethereum is, but you're also getting the rewards of the staking. Right now with the United States, we don't get access to Ondo, we don't get access to a lot of these different products, but I think it's coming, and I think it's coming within the next couple of years behind this administration, as they are bullish on crypto. Kind of switching topics, I did find this article as I was scrolling. I see the 3 AI crypto tokens to buy ahead for the NVIDIA earnings. We know
Heck
NVIDIA is the powerhouse. They're currently running essentially what the traditional markets are doing. This with the S&P 500. That's the reason, in my opinion, why everything is at all-time highs, is just the direction that NVIDIA has went. Now, crypto has gotten a pump from this. This article states that it's render, it states that it's graph, and also states that it is fetch. So these are 3 bullish cryptos. Now, within the past 2 weeks, we know that this AI sector has done fairly well. That being said, is this a buy the rumor, sell the news? Because we know they're not pumping today, but possibly tomorrow we will see some of these AI cryptos like Near, Internet Protocol, Render, etc. start pumping with the NVIDIA earnings. Or is it a buy the rumor, sell the news? Go ahead and answer that in the comments. That being said, understand GPU is, excuse me, GPU is much different than what something like Tau is doing with machine learning, or something like down here with Grass, which is lending your internet, your unused internet, to other people, similar to what Helium is doing. So whenever you look at AI, you have to break it down by other niches, and the GPU plays, like right here with the Kosh, that's up almost 27% the past week. Those are the ones that are going to benefit the most, because that's most similar to what NVIDIA is proposing. So some of these plays include Akash, Render, you have IO.net, and a couple other ones. But yeah, so that's what I'm seeing. AI should look fairly bullish this week, and yeah, we'll see.
And I would just jump in and say it should, right? By all fundamental estimates, AI should get a pump on NVIDIA's earnings. However, Crux, did we see a very significant pump the last time that NVIDIA reported earnings of, by the way, extreme profit?
I know leading up into the earnings, there was a huge pump, and that's really the only reason AI did extremely well this entire bull market is because of Nvidia. Without Nvidia, AI would have done what it did last bull market, where you had some breakouts with Fetch or AGIX, Fetch, Ocean. Through the bear market, just dropped heavily outside the top 100, and they got resuscitated by these other two groups that had to merge. So without Nvidia, without the merge, I don't see AI being anywhere where it is today. But after Nvidia's earnings, we did see them fall off. But that being said, they started to pump in hopes of Nvidia reclaiming that top spot for the number one stock.
Yeah. Dips for buying said they sold off after the Q1 report, but they haven't pumped as much into it this time. Yeah. So here's what I
Mm-hmm.
would say. I think that there's a lot of fundamental reasons to be excited about AI crypto and about investing in AI in general. I haven't really said this in a while. I think it's been a couple of weeks, but I am not very bullish on AI cryptos, and I'll tell you why. Is because there have only been two companies in the AI space that have really started to make quite a bit of profit, right, and return value to shareholders, and that is OpenAI and Nvidia. Okay, even a lot of the even a lot of the AI stocks, equities on the American equity side have failed to make a profit. Now, investors are still pouring money hand over fist into those equities because they anticipate that AI is going to be extremely significant. But the thing is, with AI, we don't fully understand the technology and how important OpenAI's lead might be for the economics of AI. It could be potentially that OpenAI gets so far ahead and has such a critical partnership with Microsoft that they just take all the market share. We don't know what that looks like. Monopoly comes to mind. We don't know if they get broken up by the government or not. But ultimately, it's not clear that AI cryptos are just this obvious investment thesis like Bitcoin or Ethereum or Solana are, right? To me, it seems like something to get excited about. I'm sure there's lots of great videos out there that can hype you up about it. And I could be wrong. Don't get it twisted. I could definitely be wrong. There could be like Render or Tau. Tau, I still hold some crypto of Tau, but and Crux has heard me say this a bunch, and I'm sure he's tired of hearing me be somewhat bearish on AI crypto. But the main takeaway is if AI stocks in the U.S. that have way more of access to liquidity and access to capital through the open markets and capital markets in the U.S., if they are not able to be profitable yet, what makes you think that a crypto company, a crypto project, is going to be able to compete with even those companies that have nearly infinite access to capital? If they think they can go build a new server and that's going to boost their compute, they're going to be able to do it because they can go get the loans from J.P. Morgan. It's not so clear that that would take place for Render or for a Cash or one of these other projects. Again, could they find a way? Yeah, there could be a way, and then Tshroom would be wrong. But my guess is that through 2025, AI will underperform the rest of the narratives, like tokenization, layer one, and DeFi. Tell me why
Sure.
I'm wrong, Crux.
Interesting. Yeah. Interesting take. So, all right. So the business model is a little different. I will say that. So Tau is different than OpenAI.
Hmm.
They're both machine learning. However, how do I profit personally from OpenAI? I can't. Like, I can benefit from it because I can pay into it, especially their new model's insane. It's so accurate. But the thing is, I can actually lend out or use or even sell my own products on the Tau open marketplace. So the business models are a little different. OpenAI is more for the consumer for retail, but then for or just to use, but to actually for retail to actually make money and sell their products or flip them, Tau is the direction that I'm headed.
Okay,
Another thing that we've been talking about here,
but well, hold on though.
pretty unless you want to, okay,
Because we agree on that.
go
Like,
ahead.
I think Tau will be
Uh-huh.
the exception. I think Tau will actually do somewhat well, and Render I would put in that category too. I think it has a good chance because it's more of a pick and shovel play. It's trying to sell to uh, operators that are trying to sell AI services. Render and Tau are more selling services to those service sellers. Sounds
Mhm.
complicated. It's actually not that complicated. So we agree on the Tau, but what about names like Near, Akash, and the other host of AI crypto names out there? Do you think that they're doomed for 2025? That they're not going to get allocated?
Yeah, so Near is completely different. Near is a layer one. I'm not the biggest bull on Near. I'm not bearish on it, but I don't see it doing anything that none of these other blockchains are doing. At the time when it was released a while back, I understand where it was headed, but it's kind of similar to what Beam is. Beam is a layer one that's built for a specific purpose in gaming. A lot of people use the AI narrative for Near. In retrospect, the biggest AI plays are built on Ethereum. So any of these blockchains can actually run these narratives. You can't just say this layer one is built for this, because anybody with programming skills can build on any of these blockchains, and that's a good thing about being open source. That being said, I have much higher expectations of Render than I do Near. I do agree with you there. Now, Akash, very similar to Render, uh, so a little different in terms of one's like more 3D and like imaging. So that's what Render's pushing for. And then Akash is just for like GPU sharing over cloud. That to me has just as much use case as Render does. So there's some of these plays, it's all about use case in terms of AI, whether I think they're going to perform well or not. I don't think a layer one will. That's just devoted to AI, but I do think the products that where we can benefit from a decentralized marketplace will definitely thrive throughout the next year or so, and that includes IO.net, Render, Akash, and some of those other lower cap ones as well.
Gotcha.
And the cool thing about that is you have an open market. So if the Render or the Akash fees are too high, why don't I just go to IO.net and then borrow somebody else's GPU, their 4090 or whatever, for 50 cents an hour? So it's a beautiful system and it's decentralized, and I think it's going to do well.
Yep. Very cool. Well, we are two people who disagree on something. That's what makes a market, and that's totally okay. One thing we definitely agree on is that this is a very beautiful looking chart. Bitcoin here pushing the all-time
Mhm.
highs here, trying to get back up above, 94,888 on the Coinbase exchange. I think it may have actually just done that because I think before it was 94,800. But overall here, very,
Mhm.
very bullish. Let's see the highs. Let's see if it reached higher on a different exchange. Nope, Coinbase is still the one that it's reached the highest on so far. But this is very bullish. Hopefully, this will be even higher by the time we go live at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. And we also have our bro time today after the show. So make sure you tune in for that from 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the Discord. So, and if you want to get access to the
Mhm.
Discord, all you got to do is just scroll down to the description of the video that you're watching, and I will show you where this is in just a second. All you got to go to is this link right here. You can get access to the free Discord, and if you want to be in bro time, you can sign up for a Brolux membership, and you'll get access to that as well. 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We've been getting a lot of people jumping in there to try to get the alpha, and it's been a lot of fun. Crux, anything else as we close here?
Yeah, I feel like I'll do the bros a disservice if I don't quickly hit Cardano. You mind sharing my screen real quick? I just want to
Yeah,
get my final thoughts.
for
I've
sure.
been talking about this project for, since last bull market, honestly. And I've been a huge proponent, so there's different markets within a bull market, right? We know Chainlink moves very early in a bull cycle, but we also know that Cardano moves very like around the third quarter or so of a out of 4 quarters in a bull market. That being said, I think it's Cardano's time. If we look at where we were a year ago, about where my mouse is, you're looking at about 10 cents Cardano for a 30x. It goes to $3, and that's what I think we're headed towards with Cardano. We had this we had this bull market for Bitcoin, but if you look at the last bull market, Cardano did not perform near as well as Bitcoin did until we get to that year preceding Bitcoin's halving. That being said, I think Cardano, it's time to shine, and this is why. So if I go into DeFi Llama, which is showing the TVL of the ecosystem, you're looking at $500 million in market cap that's being locked. And if you see this straight line up, And this is just by in November, not even 3 weeks at this point, where it's just shot it, straight up. And I talked about how you can, make money out of Cardano, right? So you can invest in the layer one in the ADA token, or you can come down here and look at these other decentralized apps that are thriving. So you have Liquid Finance, which is what I talked about on Monday. I talked about MinSwap being the leading DEX. And then I also talked about SNEC, which is the meme coin that's been just crushing it on Cardano. And the good thing about this is, as Cardano is pumping, you can compare these different projects to how Cardano is performing. And 9 out of 10 times they're going to be outperforming Cardano because the cap is lower. So it just always remember that once you find the ecosystem, there's ways to analyze what plays are going to do even better than Cardano and make more significant returns.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, bros, definitely continue to stay tuned as we bring you all, the information that matters most to your crypto portfolio. We're giving you guys the early entry here with the rumors on Cardano, and it's already pumping, as you guys saw, up. It's now almost to 15% today, this morning. So, Crux and I and Tim, we never gave up on Cardano, and and it's looking like that is paying out, and so that's very, very good. We will continue to be extremely unbiased, try to bring you all as much alpha as we can. We're not always going to agree, like Crux and I, we didn't agree, but that should be a good sign to you that we are really doing our best to try to figure out what the heck is actually going on in this crypto space of ours, and what we can do to make the most money and participate in this crazy evolution in currency. Some might even call it a revolution in finance. So very, very exciting. Bros, I'll leave you all with this. There is a lot going on, but and a lot of movements to the upside, maybe starting to be tempting to take profit, right? Might be tempting to do things that are based on emotion, right? You need to do things that are based on your plan. If you have not formulated a plan of when you're going to exit this market, then you need to talk to people like myself and Crux in the Discord, or just talk to somebody who has a plan in crypto, and make sure you have figured out where you want to exit this market, because it is very easy to impulsively make a sell, and then all of a sudden the asset that you have is pumped 20, 30% higher, and then you re-enter, and then it comes crashing down 60% in the case of some altcoins, right? So just be very, very careful, understand what your plan is, even have an idea of what you want to spend that money on, the profits, whether you're going to buy a new car for your family, whether you're going to invest in Microsoft, whether you're going to flip it all into Bitcoin, or just keep it in cash. Have a plan that is going to be your best friend. Think through what you're doing with all this. Otherwise, it's pretty much just a casino. So make sure that you're responsible, make sure that you are properly risk managing, and form a plan for what you're going to do with these profits and when you're going to take profit strategically, rationally. Don't let your emotions guide when you take profit. Bros, this has been a lot of fun. Adios.
Peace.